It finally happened. The Nintendo Switch 2 is real.
It's been 3,000 years.
Finally. Like, with all of these years, I think, like, over the past 2 years, we've been getting leaks, and then more, like, concrete leaks over the past 6 months. But
It started with the Switch Pro, and now we got the Switch 2.
yeah, but we're finally entering a new console generation for Nintendo. This is just, it's crazy. It's been like a long time. It's been 8 years since the original Switch launched.
And you know what's funny about it is that, the middle of the generation, I remember when they said around 2020, 2021, kind of around there, and people are like, oh, it's 2023's system will come out or something.
Yeah.
And well, they were right about the middle of the generation at that point, weren't they?
Yeah, I remember around 2020 or 2021, they said this is, like, we're entering the halfway point of the Nintendo Switch, which makes sense. Like, 2021, surprisingly, would be the halfway point. It doesn't really seem like that, because 2021 didn't really seem like that long ago, but that was 4 years ago. That was the halfway point. So,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like, it seems like for about half of the entire generation of the Switch, we've been getting, like, rumors and stuff about the Switch 2, but it's finally here, and it looks really good.
Yeah.
It basically looks like what we were expecting with the leaks and everything, but it's nice to finally see, like, an official, like, thing here. Like, higher quality, and, like, actually from Nintendo now. It's nice to have all of this confirmed, and not, like, all up in the air and confusing and everything. But one interesting thing that I noticed about the trailer is the fact that they were heavily emphasizing that this is a different Switch. Like, this is, like, the exact opposite of how they were showing off the Wii U. Like, they're not like, oh, like, Switch 2, it's like another Switch. It's not like, or they're showing off the new Joy-Cons, and they're like, new 2 Joy-Cons for this, like, for the Switch. No, it's not like that. No, they were emphasizing that this is a brand new console, which I really like, and I definitely kind of understand from Nintendo's perspective of why they would want to do that, because it really seems like they're trying to avoid a Wii U situation here.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can even tell I was actually I was watching through some of the older reveals from Nintendo, like the Wii U one, the Switch one. You can really tell that they learned their lesson with the Wii U and they didn't want to repeat that again. And I think the trailer was just the perfect way of showing that this is the equal to the system. It's not some weird version of it. I think the 2 was really necessary for that. Some people were like, oh, they should call it, like, Switch Attach or something. But then it's like, oh, it's a version of the Switch that's magnetic. You know what I mean? You gotta establish that this is a new system that can play new exclusive games. And like they've said in the trailer. Whereas with the original Switch, it'll be backwards compatible. And that'll be really awesome.
Yeah, and I think, like, one part of this that definitely helped was showing off a new Mario Kart. Like, that is a system seller. Like, that is the perfect thing to show. Like, look at this beautiful new Mario Kart game for the new Nintendo system. That, like, since Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold so well, this is perfect. Like, I can definitely understand why Dimitri was, like, putting so much, like, into the fact that Mario Kart was probably going to be a launch title, because this probably is a launch title, like, considering that it's in the trailer here, and that is definitely a great game to have as a launch title, I would say. So I think that was also good that they were showing it here as well. But yeah, just overall, like, it looks really good. I'm glad that we have, like, a definitive look at the console now, and it just looks really nice.
Yeah, it looks really good. The leaks were pretty accurate to how the final thing looks, and honestly, that's a good thing. I don't think there's any problems that we've had. There hasn't been any, like, oh, like, that looks kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like, there hasn't really been any, like, issue with the system. And I think everything we've seen, like the optical sensors on the system.
Yeah, like, yeah, they were even showing that off there with, like, the fact that they could be used like a mouse, kind of. That was interesting. Like, I wasn't even sure how they were gonna use like the optical sensor, or if we were absolutely sure that it was gonna be something like a mouse, but it is. And that's going to be pretty interesting. So even if it doesn't have those casting capabilities, I could still see DS games easily being on Nintendo Switch Online here, utilizing that feature.
Yeah, the optical sensor feature is going to be really good for potential DS games, potential Wii games even, Wii U ports as well. We could even get, say, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse.
Oh, yeah!
I know there was rumors about that. I think that's a game that would be easily, portable to the Switch now because of the fact that, you can play it in touchscreen mode and you can play it in optical mode with the Joy-Con. Because now that's actually possible. They can bring some of the last Wii U games that require that stuff. Even, I think even a new Another Code game. I think that's something that we could see even using the optical sensor because they can make a lot of puzzles that like point and click games, like stuff like that would be really awesome. Even the you remember with the Super Nintendo NSO app, how they added SNES mouse functionality?
Yeah, like with Mario and Wario or Mario Paint. Yeah, they could definitely do some interesting things with that.
Even like playing Duck Hunt or something too, like that could be something that you could do with that.
I also thought that like a sequel to like some of these like Wii and Wii U games would be interesting as well, like a sequel to Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. I think that would make a lot of sense as well, because technically the third game in like the Kirby Canvas Curse series, technically, if you consider that a series. But I think like a sequel to that would be really cool. But I could definitely see them porting over the Wii U game first, or making like a remaster of it or something. Cause,
I know there was rumors about that a while ago.
Yeah, because, like, I definitely think, like, they could do, like, a remaster of that, since, like, it already looked graphically pretty good on the Wii U, but they could elevate it so much more with the capabilities of the Switch 2. Like, I could definitely see, like, how, like, upgrading it quite a lot to make it look beautiful, and you would actually play it the way you're intended to see it. You're not just looking at the 480p Wii U gamepad while playing it. You could actually see it in the beautiful, like, 4K or at least 1440p natively. So I think that would be
for sure,
really nice.
That'd be awesome. Even the Game Builder Garage could really use the mouse controls. I think it already has it anyways, right?
Yeah. You could actually
connect a mouse.
Yeah, you could just connect the mouse to the USB ports on the Switch, and it will just work like a regular mouse. So you wouldn't even have to do that with the Switch 2. And I wonder if that will be like a thing that you could do.
Maybe they'll update the game.
Yeah, like at launch, you could just pop in Game Builder Garage and just use the Joy-Cons with that. That is just going to be so helpful. And Mario Maker as well. That's also going to be great for Mario Maker.
Nice. I'd like to see them, with the backwards compatibility. I think I'd love to see them try and do what Xbox does. 'Cause I think one thing that Xbox does really well, even though they don't do a lot of things very well, one thing that they do really well is that, if you pop in a 360 game to your Xbox One, or like the ones that are supported at least, or even Series X, the game will download some updates and then it'll look remastered, right? And that's something they've done really well, of making your games look good and even take advantage of the features from Xbox newer systems, right?
Yeah.
So I hope that they can do something where multiple games receive updates and tweaks and improvements to, they don't have to change the game or anything, just, enable some features, enable some extra stuff here and there, whether it takes advantage of the system's hardware or not. Just, make sure that the game feels like, okay, it's been updated to a new Switch 2 version.
Yeah, we've already seen data mines, like the one that I've mentioned like a million times, because of course I have. Thousand Year Door has the 4K support for like that, like kind of in the files. So I could definitely see like games like that, at least like later Switch titles, having like some of these like updates and things to make it either run in like 4K or have like 60 FPS and different things like that. I think that would be really nice. But another thing that we saw in the trailer that was really interesting compared to the leaks is the fact that the new button doesn't show a C on it. It doesn't seem to be a C button, at least right now. They could possibly reveal that later. I'm not sure if it's like the leaks or like prototypes of it that have a C on it, or the console actually will have a C on it, like on that button, and it's just like they're not showing it right now because they're waiting until the direct, or whenever to like show off that. So
Yeah, I guess we'll probably learn if that's the real thing or not once we see actual like box leaks
yeah,
of the system, right? Because I don't think we know. They showed like they showed a render, but they didn't actually show anything else beyond that, right?
yeah. I'm wondering if they actually changed that like later on. Like that was like a prototype that we saw in the leaks. They changed it because it looked a bit too similar to the capture button. So, like, because you could see, like, with the C there, like, I remember, like, some of the earlier leaks, people were thinking, like, another capture button? And I wonder if Nintendo changed that because they thought people might confuse it with a capture button. I don't
But
know.
it's a bit too similar because it's literally just a square. That's my
Yeah.
problem with it. It's just a square, not even like a little symbol or something different. It's just a square. So that's why I'm a little bit like, yeah, I don't know if that's a final look at it. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. It just seems a bit strange.
Yeah.
You know, and speaking of it, do you want to talk about the potential release date or what we're thinking?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Since we're getting, like,
That-
the direct in early April, I think this is going to release in May. I'm standing by May, which I think is what I predicted
Yeah,
before.
me too.
I think it either, like, I
Like
honestly,
May 3rd or something. Like, do you think?
I think any time in May could work. Like, I could kind of understand, like, any part of May. Like, if they want to do it at the beginning of May, they'd still have, like, a month to build up to it. Or, like, even, like, the middle or end of May could work as well. I just think sometime in May makes a lot of sense.
I'm gonna say like something around May 3rd. That's to me my prediction. Where they don't want to do it too late, but they don't want to do it too early in like in April directly. But I think it's like, okay, they're doing the direct on April 2nd, and then they're gonna do it. Then the console releases a month later. I think that's the perfect way of doing things because I feel like June you'd want to have a game releasing, and I mean Mario Kart 9 will probably be the launch game. I think we can kind of tell, right? That will be the launch game.
Yeah.
Since that's they've shown it off. And I think from the leaker, I think it was Next Handheld, right? They said something about Mario Kart 9 having like an edition of the system, and they are making those as well. So very much they could be maybe prepping units for that too. So I would say that
Yeah.
maybe what they do is that they do Mario Kart 9 in May with the system, and then in like June, that's when you get Metroid Prime 4 after that. Because I think that would be a game that it would be good to release right after.
Yeah, and I could also see Zaza releasing shortly after that. That's probably going to be cross-gen along with
Yeah,
with the Pokemon Legends Zaza. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
Maybe
because there's rumors that it will have a Switch 2 version maybe,
Yeah, honestly,
which would be awesome.
I could see that being a holiday title because they like to release Pokemon games during the holidays. So I could see that and maybe a new 3D Mario and a new Animal Crossing game being the holiday titles. I could definitely see 3D Mario happening this year as well. It just makes a lot of sense. It's been enough time. It was also in year 1 of the Switch. And they also released Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Odyssey in the same year, so I don't really think they're going to have a problem releasing 2 big Mario games in the same year.
Because I think the main thing that this year really compared... The main game that I would say is the thing that differentiates this system to the original Switch is Breath of the Wild, right? Because there won't be really a Zelda game, so they need other stuff, right? Because
Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom, they could have saved it, but obviously they wanted to release it on the Switch, and I mean that was a good call anyways, since of how far ago that was. So I think the best thing for them to do is have the system released in early May 5th, May 3rd, somewhere around there, and then after that have and have it released with Mario Kart. Then in June, have it Metroid Prime 4 release along in that month.
Yeah.
I think having those two games, I mean, they could both come out at launch as well, but I think they're gonna try and spread them out. 'Cause I think Mario Kart's a game that can kind of appeal to everyone. So that's the game that they need, right? Because
Yeah.
I remember people being like, "Oh, they should launch with Prime 4," but Prime 4 isn't the game you want to launch the system with because it doesn't appeal to exactly everyone. You need a broad appeal game.
Yeah. Yeah, Mario Kart just makes the most sense. Like, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe released very early on in the Switch's
Yeah.
lifespan, like, only, like, a month
And it sold so
after.
well.
And it's the best-selling game on the Switch. So this is, like, the perfect game to have with the Switch. Like, honestly, Nintendo strategically planned this out. Like,
They did, yeah.
like, for one, they hyped up Mario between, like, the movie and all these Mario games, like Wonder, Thousand Year Door Remake, Brothership, different things like that.
And I mean,
And
the
then-
movie seems to have like a big impact on everything they've done, if you've noticed. Like,
Yeah.
you know, from the designs of characters to releasing games like Prince of Peach Showtime and Mario and Luigi Brothership, and making sure that, you know, they release games that, you know, people can play after watching the movie is really important. So,
Yeah, and I've just noticed with the new Mario Kart here, like, I'm gonna do a whole discussion about this, but we've
Yeah.
even seen that some of the characters are getting, like, slightly new designs here. Like, Mario kind of looks a bit reminiscent of the Wonder design, as well as, like, even the Nintendo 64 Mario design. a little
Yeah.
bit. It kind of takes some inspiration
going back to their
from that.
roots.
And then with Donkey Kong, it's kind of inspired by the movie design, which is really interesting. And I guess by extension, also like DK94 and like some of Miyamoto's Donkey Kong designs. So I think that's pretty cool. And you can also see they kind of emphasize how expressive everything looks here. Like, this looks like a current gen game. Like, it almost looks like some PS5 games, I would say. Like Astrobot specifically. It like looks very reminiscent of that kind of style graphically. I would say, like, the amount of like movement and animation and detail
Yeah.
that everything has kind of reminds me a lot of that. So I could definitely see like the visual upgrade here compared to the Switch. It just looks really good. And honestly, the one thing that I'm a bit surprised about, I mean, I guess I'm not too surprised because Nintendo wouldn't show this in the trailer. Kit and Krista mentioned that they wouldn't show this because it makes so much sense that Nintendo wouldn't. But I'm a little surprised that they didn't show on the website any specs of it. Like, I feel like at least give the fact that it's gonna have like either 4K or DLSS upscaling and stuff, like maybe not like super specific details, but at least give us like the resolution, the screen resolution, like if it's OLED or LCD, or if it's like has a 1080p screen, stuff like that. I want to at least know some of those details. I know they wouldn't show it in the trailer, but I hope they reveal those details like soon, because I think that's like one thing that will definitely help people to buy it if they know it's going to be more powerful than the Switch. Because like, yeah, you can kind of already get that impression that it is going to be like a lot more powerful, especially from the Mario Kart footage. But I think there needs to be like a little more of a push, and I have a feeling that Nintendo will do that as time goes on, like show more like of the Switch 2's capabilities in terms of like graphics and things. So yeah.
But I guess one thing I've kind of noticed though is that potentially this reveal was shown earlier than expected, because April's quite a while away for that direct. So I wonder if their original plan was to show the system off in March or late February. I think some rumors were about this as well, that they might have had to move it up because of the leaks, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, Nintendo's probably not too happy with those leaks, especially from Genki and stuff, showing this system.
I'm wondering if they're like the direct is gonna show like more details. I wonder if they're gonna show like a tiny bit of information between now and April, because that is quite a bit of a gap. So I think like they might have like at least like like a maybe a very small little like overview of what the system can do.
They might do that, yeah.
I think they like it wouldn't be like that much. They would go into more detail in the direct, but I could see them doing like a little thing, at least kind of mentioning that it will have like 4K, at least like 4K upscaling and stuff, or like a
Yeah.
1080p screen, different things like that. Like I think they might show like a little bit of information about that before the direct, but the direct is gonna reveal like all of the games and things, so we'll have to see.
And do you think that there'll be more models of this system, like a black model completely, and a Mario Kart 9 one? I think the Mario Kart 9 one is very likely, but
I think there's gonna be one with white Joy-Cons. I think they're also gonna do
Yeah.
that. Since
I mean,
that-
I'd probably just get this one. I really like.
Yeah.
I mean, the one they show in the trailer, I like how it has the colors there.
yeah,
And they, like, I remember some of the rumors were like, oh, it's gonna be more like orangey, and I mean, it's kind of close to orange, but it's more like kind of the red color that we've seen previously. Just a
Yeah.
little bit lighter, it looks like.
it's kind of like reddish orange, but
Yeah, or maybe it looks a little different, because like I know with the Joy-Con, or even some systems where it's like you take a picture of it and the colors look different than it actually looks in real life.
yeah,
So
but yeah,
yeah,
So,
very exciting.
yeah, and I'm definitely gonna do a Mario Kart 9 discussion later. But yeah, anyways,
Yeah, and also one thing I want to say is, who's ready for the Nintendo Switch 2 OLED Pro 3 rumors? Yeah,
Nintendo-
guys, it's time. It's time.
the Nintendo Switch 2 Mini. Imagine if they actually do that. I was thinking that idea
The
just
Switch
popped
2
in.
Lite.
Yeah, or light, yeah, or like mini.
Yeah, I think.
light,
I mean, I think the
whatever,
Lite's
yeah.
possible.
Yeah,
but
Mini
The rumors
first
about
popped
to
in-
kick into that.
the name Mini popped into my head first because of the rumors before the light actually happened. way
Yeah,
back in
I remember
2019.
that.
Yeah, that was the first thing that
Switch
popped into my
Mini.
head. But yeah, imagine the Switch 2 Lite. That would actually be kind of funny. But yeah,
Yeah,
anyways.
they'll probably do that.
Thank
Alright.
you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. And make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Stay perky!
And make sure your power doesn't cut out.